go. We just out here. I'm just, I ain't really do too many of these lately. Just doing a live stream. Just looking at just different stuff that has been online, going on. Doing it to win rainy days. Seeing what y'all got going on. Looking at little clips, stuff like that. I'm just experimenting with the live on YouTube and different platforms like that. But right now, I just about to just really just watch. I guess this was last night or early this morning. AD going off on I guess Adam, cause he got fired from, is it the No Jumper show? I think he still has the one with Duno and T-Rail. But I don't know about the one, I don't know, so many, because House Phone was on that show and Cam Girl initially was their show. Then it looked like it kind of morphed into the No Jumper show where it centered more around Adam and then House Phone. And then they later added AD. And then, after they added AD, they later, I guess, they added Lush when AD was not AD when House Phone was having some family issues, some personal issues and stuff. Rightfully so. He took time off, and they had Lush in there. But now it's like it's all that stuff been kind of falling apart. We've been seeing like AD kind of voice his opinion more vocally about recent guests that Adams had on the platform, I guess, as far as them being potential, zealots or racists, and he not feeling it. I think a lot of the other people not feeling it, and I look at it kind of crazy too, because it's like, damn, y'all doing that to get a check? I can't compromise myself to that degree, especially when I have other stuff that I got going on. They all had other stuff going on outside of this. AD probably one of the more prominent ones, So I know he's definitely probably been feeling like, I don't need to be around this weird energy. And that's how I would feel too. And probably T-Rail, absolutely. You've seen House Phone feel that way. And he started his own platform with his friends Blasey, Yuri, and Potlord. So, that wasn't going to be nothing too much difficulty. He should have been did that. We see how Hakeem is doing great. What was it? The Our Generation Music. He's a A&R for a top label, making beats. Like Hakeem doing his thing. Cam Girl traveling the world. She's a rock star. Top DJ. Doing great without them. And so many other people. So I know AD and, others will do well too, man. But I just wanted to just look at this because I was just like, yo, it's kind of wild, like, how dude was, like, super mad at this. Like, I could tell it's like, yeah, I don't think this is no, like, setup thing or nothing like that. This was something that I don't think he might have knew, like, in the air, but it was confirmed in a real kind of shady way. And dude wasn't feeling that one bit, and rightfully so. I wouldn't be feeling it neither. I mean, it seemed to me like the Crips and his connections have his solidified and really protected and revitalized No Jumper for the past 2 years, 2.5, 3 years since the onset of the pandemic. So it's like, why would you do that to your lead man, your capo, your underboss? AD is the underboss, and you just basically he sent an alley up way to do it, but it's just just look at how this dude is just like he's mad on game.
But I thought I was just talking to Lush.
Yeah, but we didn't go to nobody. We went to them direct. You feel me? We didn't go behind.
No, but you guys had a conversation about it before you went to them, right?
Nah,
that's what it was. It's
we had
an internal decision.
No, we had a conversation on the spot. We had a conversation on the spot.
Was it shit talking when I asked Josh what he thought about it behind the scenes?
Hey, we had a conversation on the spot with them. On the spot.
So you're saying it's
right after the stream. Right after the stream.
In advance.
Yeah, it's your man's, homie.
Talk to your friends about a decision that you're making.
It's your man's, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, and I was talking to my other mans about a big decision that I was considering making business-wise.
Listen, man, Lush just came around, bro. Lush just came around, bro.
Point. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this is your man's, bro. This who got in the mud with you, bro, when all the shit was kind of like, going down for No Jumper, and it was just kind of stuck at a weird space. He got in the mud with you and helped you and did what he could do and put it on his back with you. Check on y'all beefs. Did all that shit. Real nigga shit.
What kind of relationship?
So you can at least give him that respect to talk to him like a real homie and not go confide in a nigga who just started working for you a year ago. You feel me? And have to hear it from him and Discord. That should look crazy, my nigga. You feel me?
Well, the Discord part, I agree, is fucking insane. But, it's like at the end of the day, I was just having a conversation about a big decision that I was considering making behind the scenes. I mean, the fact that it got out there is fucking insane. But let's keep in mind, why did it get out there? It got out there because loose lips sink ships and Lush has a fucking big mouth.
Hey, man, shit should have went straight to AD is all I'm saying.
Listen, at the end of the day, nigga, you know how that nigga, my mama heard that shit too, nigga. That shit is foul as fuck, Adam. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you, bro. Nigga, I would never, ever in my life do that if I ever had a problem with you, I come to you all the time. I tell you this shit.
But, bro,
I always do that shit, bro.
AD was looking at this like this is like real emotional business, like real, like from the heart business. And a lot of us from not just the black community, but like just the urban community or people that come from, somewhere for real, we tend to do that a lot. We put our heart and our soul and our earnest, energy into that shit, and then a lot of times that shit don't even be nowhere near what it's supposed to be. I always looked at it like people will go work for like 50, 30 years at a job, man. And people don't care about you. They'll replace you. You're just a number. Just a number. Just like a person at in jail. You just like a number. You're an inmate number. You're a work number to them. They'll replace you and deface you in that order. So I just think that we tend to look at it like it's not like that, but it is like that. And he has a conversation with Van Lathan, where Van kind of like reaffirms that. But I'm not gonna play that part because you watch this man stream on your own. But it's just, we gotta not put our hearts into this, and not even to be like on that, but other cultures, other races and shit, they don't view business that way. Business is straight, it's unfeeling, it's cold, it's benign. Like, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers ain't trying to be caring about what you, your family got. They will eat family dinner with you at your home, and the next minute, will put you in a poor house with that same family. They ate at your table, so I don't think he was really noticing or knowing that for real, for real.
If you had love for me like that, bro, you would have came to me like a man and said, AD, I ain't feeling your performance right now. Nigga, step it up or we gonna replace you. Keep it gangster. Let your nuts hang.
We had that conversation.
We ain't never had that conversation, bro. You have never had that conversation with me.
We have had that exact conversation.
You ain't never had that conversation with me, bro. You ain't never had that.
You and Lush in the office. Me, you, and Lush were in my office a couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago, having that exact conversation.
That's because of the blowback of the other shit. You was threatening to cancel all the shows. That had nothing to do with AD.
No, we had a meeting where we tried to have a conversation about the quality of the podcast, and I'm going to be real with you, you weren't terribly receptive.
What do you mean?
I mean, you just seemed to think that it was all good, and I was suggesting that I felt like we had to work on shit, and I just felt like I wasn't really getting like a real conversation about how we were going to do so.
The problem
at a certain point, I kind of, and let me be real too, is like the whole thing was that I had somebody else that I wanted to bring onto the show, and I wasn't, I didn't feel comfortable adding a fifth mic, and that's why I was fucking going through it in terms of like being just stressed the fuck out about even having that conversation with you.
Adam, since day one.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
But you see now,
So he been wanting to add another nigga. That's the dude, I think his name Court. He's slowly trying to integrate him into being more like just known on the platform. So he already had an agenda. Lush was just a sacrificial lamb. The dude Lush was just a sacrificial lamb. The dude Lush was just a sacrificial lamb. He ain't know what was going on with nothing. Or he knew, but he didn't know how far-reaching the implications were and how he could be used as a burn notice for that situation. He wasn't hip to it.
you was finna, you got rid of your mans and you was gonna keep a snake. These is your words, you call him a snake. You got rid of your mans and you gonna keep a snake?
Hey, that's fun. When I agree, I agree. That's exactly how I feel right now.
Come on, man.
Hey, man.
And I'm gonna keep it real. And I told you this earlier. Since day one, you never wanted me on a Tuesday show. Let's keep it real. You said, hey, you're temporary. Listen, you said temporarily until y'all find a replacement for Cam Girl, AD can stay. Then later on, shit started going good. Then it was talks. It was like, well, maybe we should go another direction since you got Wednesdays and it's being successful. Then it's like, nigga, once again, it's like, nigga, you never really wanted me there at the beginning in the first place. And I'm all for business.
We gave it a shot for 3 years, and then I wanted to try something else.
Nigga, you don't think I brought nothing to the table or brought viewers and niggas is fucking with me on the Tuesday show?
No, I'm acknowledging your contribution. I'm just saying that I wanted to try something else.
And, okay, and all you had to say was, hey, man, we're going to try something else. But, nigga, try to kick me out and keep my mans on there?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, I wasn't exactly optimistic that T-Rail was going to be down just because I know about the fact that you guys are tight and that he, him staying would have been a fucking weird ass look. But, that is what I said. I showed you the conversation that I had with Lush. And in that conversation, I said, yeah, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen with the T-Rail thing.
Yeah, but and I feel like all that is a result of what the fuck that we doing outside of the fucking channel.
Let's talk about it. Is it, Adam?
There's some truth to the fact that I feel like you doing like 5 streams a week or whatever was kind of making it to the point where you weren't necessarily super talkative on Tuesdays, and you weren't really even like coming to the table with a whole lot of shit, which is in the beginning you were coming in with. It was actually kind of absurd. You were going crazy in the beginning, saying all kinds of crazy shit.
And you know what you did?
What?
Every time that I was being myself and saying some shit, You told me I shouldn't do that no more. That's a tick. Don't make this joke. Don't do this. Don't do that. So I tried my best to sit there to follow the rules that you wanted for your podcast while still contributing and keeping that shit, bro. When that shit was golden and it was cool, it was all the crazy shit that I would say, the shit that I would mutter out, house phone laughing, you sitting there having a good time. You told me, stop doing this. This is bad podcasting. This is a tick. This is this. This is this. This is this. This is this. So I'm sitting there like, you know what? This the nigga that know that shit. He want me to be better as a podcaster. Maybe I...
Yo, he didn't want you to be better. He was slowly trying to really take away your things that made you you. He wanted to like euthanize you. Like how they get lions and they put them in the zoo and they take the big claws out their paws and the fangs out their mouth. How they take a cobra and they defang it and they take the venom out of it so he ain't lethal no more. That's what Adam wanted to do to you. He wanted to euthanize you. Euthanize is when you kill. He wanted to like domesticate you, emasculate you in that way, like take away your individuality. And part of that was your aggression and your little social tics. That's what makes us all who we is.
I shouldn't blurt out shit. Maybe I shouldn't say no funny shit. Maybe I shouldn't do this and maybe I shouldn't do that. And then you get a product now that you don't like. But instead of saying, you know what? I don't even fuck with that shit. Whatever, nigga. Hey, you out of here. They ain't how homies do each other, man.
That's crazy.
I mean, my whole thing is that I wanted to put somebody on the podcast, and in order to do so, I felt like I had to take somebody off. And, you know, these are just like, this is business shit. Like, it's like, in terms of who's on the podcast, I got to be able to make the decision about who I want to have on my podcast. And it can't be some weird, like, loyalty thing where it's like, oh, this guy's been a good friend to me.
Bro, I don't give a fuck about you keeping me on a Tuesday podcast. I care about nigga supposed to be my homeboy. Nigga, if you gonna make a business.
Hell, dude is not your homeboy. Definitely not your homeboy.
Business move, do your business move. Do what you gotta do. But don't talk behind my back and don't talk to a nigga you just met and don't have motherfuckers sitting there saying that shit. That make me look crazy. That make it look like everything. That make it look like everything that I did. And you know, anytime something get cracked, listen. Every time something get cracking in that office, who the first nigga that go outside and do this shit and ready for whatever?
Is it you, Adam?
Right. So
no, I'm asking.
Was it you, Adam?
I'm asking you on some real.
Was it you, Adam? Was it you? Were you outside ready to go?
Shit.
How can you fault me for trying to have a conversation with one of the other co-hosts behind the scenes about something that
is
I was
me and your relationship like me and
podcast?
his relationship? I like to think that me and you were deeper than all these niggas.
No, but he's one of the other people who's on the podcast, so I was having a conversation with him about it that was supposed to be private. You know, like when you see that conversation, it's like obviously because I showed, just to be transparent, I showed you the whole fucking conversation, even though I didn't want to, just to make it perfectly clear what was going on.
Bro, at the end of the day, I didn't want none of this shit to happen. I didn't want none of this shit to be like this. I was sitting there gonna be cool about the situation, keep the shit pushing. But now I'm like, do a nigga even value me on the fucking platform?
I do value you on the platform, but that's why I complicated.
That is the whole thing. He don't value you. He can go to Walmart and get a cheaper version. Is what he feels. He just imported one from New York. Spider knees. He recruited Spider knees. That nigga took your spot.
Contemplated this decision for so long, And I fucking thought about it, and I even felt the need to confide in somebody like Lush about the decision that I was contemplating, because I knew that I was walking this fucking tricky ass tightrope where I wanted to do something different with the Tuesday show while still doing the Wednesday show, still doing We Hungry, still whatever. And I knew that it was going to be difficult for me to get that point across to you without you taking it as disrespect about the Tuesday show, you know?
Nigga,
so
I'm a man at the end of the day.
It was a tough conversation.
I'm a man at the end of the day. I learned a lot. Since the day that I came in that building to who I am now as a person is two totally different people. I've learned a lot.
I agree. I've seen the growth, and I respect you.
I'm not about to act like a nigga, bro. I'm not gonna give anybody the satisfaction. I ain't gonna give nobody the satisfaction that be exactly who they think I'm gonna be.
We will.
They gonna label me all type of shit. And that's not what happens in business and shit. So if you would have told me on some real shit, I'd have said, you know what, Adam, that's your decision. Because when you first said it to me, what did I tell you? I kept it professional, didn't I?
Right, but then what happened after that? Because I was, this is the crazy
What
shit
happened
about
after that is the
today,
niggas is sitting here saying this shit about me, saying shit about me in the Discord. That's the only thing that
But that's
happened.
what I'm saying is, whose fault was that? It's fucking Lush's fault. Like, all right,
I'm not
this
blaming
was my
nobody.
plan for today. Bro, at 2 p.m. or so, I kind of had it in my head, at 2 p.m., I'm going to hit AD up, and I'm going to get on the phone with him and do a little temperature check and see how he's feeling about everything, just because I didn't want to go into this week with me not knowing 100% how you felt and you not knowing exactly how I felt. And then instead of that, when I hit you up to have the conversation, I found out that the one thing that I had said to Lush about the fact that I was considering making this decision had already been leaked to you by somebody that we don't even know, people we don't even know in real life, who he was fucking talking about my personal business to.
And bro, at the end of the day, like I said, you should have just came to me. And my thing is too, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Flacco sitting there like he ain't there, like he ain't got nothing to do with what's going on at all. Like, that's crazy. That's the same thing Gino was doing when he walked in, when Adam walked in there and got up on Lush. Like, yo, these people crazy, bro. I can't sit there and act like y'all ain't having this moment. That's hella awkward as hell on game.
Then I was just gonna quit. I was gonna say fuck all this shit, bro. I said niggas don't value me. Niggas don't look at me like a real homie. Everybody saying, bro, nigga, fuck them niggas, cuz I'm keeping it real.
But you see, when you say something like that, it's like, that's why I was having such a hard time making this decision and why I
But
wanted
nigga, this ain't got nothing to do with the Tuesday show. This has nothing to do with the Tuesday show. This is the fact that I didn't put my life on the line for this company for niggas to sit there and talk behind my back like it ain't nothing. Like I'm expendable. Like I'm a piece of shit.
Back, bro. I talked behind your back. Who did I talk to? I talked to Lush, and you saw the whole conversation.
But that's still behind my back. That wasn't known. That wasn't known to me. What is it called when you say something to somebody that you don't say to them? That's called talking behind their back.
So I'm
regardless if you say it or not, you talked behind my back with Lush. And
what's
that shit got out.
Between me talking to Lush and me talking to Josh about it before I made this decision?
Nigga, Josh is the nigga that's your business partner who run this shit in the company with you.
And I thought that Lush was an important part of the company that I could have that conversation with.
You thought he was more than me?
No, I just wanted to have the conversation about a decision I was considering making.
You found out he was a snake.
I did. I found out the fucking hard way.
Was about to get rid of your man.
And I'm not blaming Lush.
Oh, I am.
Because when you asked me, I didn't even say Lush said nothing. I'm not even going to put that on there.
Yeah, and I had to do a little digging. It took me about 5 minutes of research to figure it out.
But nigga, no disrespect to Lush, but how the fuck you gonna put me and Lush in the same bracket when it comes to a nigga how I fuck with you versus how you fuck with him? That sound crazy, cuz.
Okay, but it's not a friend contest. I don't give a fuck if it's a friend
contest. I'm talking about nigga.
It's not even a friend
nigga. I've been next to you.
Other co-host on the show.
I've been next to you. You know, in life or death situations, have I not?
That's the real right there. That's why he's mad. Like, yo, That's why he's mad, yo. Like, yo, are you really there trying to stunt? Like, you didn't do this and that with the that. Come on now. Come on now. I saved your life. I put vests on your back.
Yeah, but I don't know what that.
I've been right there with you, bro. I've been right there with you, bro. Ready to risk it all. At any given time, anybody had a problem with you, I'm ready to end it all. So the fact I get done like that shit weak as fuck.
But done like what? Like I had a conversation about you with Lust. Like I agree. I don't like the tone of one of the things I said in the conversation, which was just
Adam, for once, bro, just own that shit, cuz you did me wrong, bro. Just for once, own that shit.
Having a conversation with one of the other co-hosts.
For once, just own that shit, bro. You can't even sit there and say, you know what? What you mean always trying?
You always try to.
So you don't think that I got done wrong?
Narrative.
You don't think that I got? Hey, fuck the narrative. You don't think that I got done wrong in this situation? What the fuck did I do?
Yeah, you primarily got done wrong by Lush.
Bro, you gotta take accountability, bro.
The victim.
I can take accountability for what I said, which was I said one rude thing in confiding in Lush that realistically is the same shit that I've said to you 100 times on the podcast.
Man, listen.
Yo, he's never gonna take accountability. I couldn't even work with somebody who do that, who moves like that, or like. And I ain't gonna lie, the fact that Buddy thought that was his friend, that's laughable. It's laughable, at best. Laughable, bro. You better than this, my guy. You better than this, brother AD. I've been trying to tell you. He's been telling you. He's even telling you again now. But you better than this, bro.
All I'm saying is, bro, just like earlier, take accountability, my nigga. Shit happens. It is what it is.
I just took accountability for the thing that I did, which is why I said this thing about you making the same 4 jokes every week on the podcast to Lush.
Oh man!
And I told you privately, like that shit was, I don't like the fact that was out there. It was rude. I shouldn't have said it like that. But I mean, let's be real. It was just a conversation in private between 2 co-hosts on a podcast.
Shit crazy, man.
Hey, man.
I don't know, man. For real. It's like
it's crazy.
Yo, that shit just funny to me, bro. I don't care, bro. Y'all can't be sitting here thinking that folks is y'all friends. They're not your friends. They don't care about you in any shape, form, or fashion. They do not care about you, bro. They do not care about you, bro. Just saying. Never think that the bosses really care about the employees. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy as hell. They their own bosses, so at the end of the day, it ain't really hurting them.
Considerations do have to be made to the and I'll make those considerations for the
Now we just I really want to play this. I just want to know which one. I'm just trying to figure out which one I'm gonna play of Charleston just going off. But before that, we gonna go on. Look at this deal, this Quando Rondo that just dropped on Say Cheese. Live reaction.
Oh man, here we go, man.
Quando.
We got Quando Rondo in the fucking building, man. First time doing a Say Cheese interview, man, in Savannah, Georgia. How you doing, man?
Yo, and say cheese, man. I respect you, Sean. Cotton, bro. Don't flag me. Big Quando. You already know what it is. Showing love to y'all, man. Get into it. Quando. Dropping new album, too.
Good. After all these years of knowing each other,
Facts.
we finally locked in.
Facts, man. What's your mental like?
I mean, man, life like an ocean. I look at life like being in the ocean, all us, like you, me, and the whole world. I feel like we in the ocean without a life jacket. And at the same time, everybody trying to do what? Keep their head above water. You dig what I'm saying? Whatever it take for me not to drown, long as it's nothing flaw or against my religion, my will, or the laws I got laid down, I'm gonna keep my head above water. In other words, it don't matter how I'm doing. In the public eye, whenever I walk outside my door, it's gonna look like my mental on 100. I've been going through some things.
Yo, that's like what every black man, I think, do. We all go outside. Maybe just all men in general. We take whatever pain and whatever heartache we got going on and stress, and we just put it, or try to put it in the back of our minds, self-medicate, and really just go through just, survival's deniability, where we gotta walk out and just, in order to survive, just block out that we hurting so deep. And those wounds just take time to heal.
Things though, they ain't hard to tell, cause shit, it's worldwide. It's hard to keep pain inside when you got people out here trying to make a dollar off trauma.
The rap.
Now listen, he ain't never lie. It's hard to just live, period, when the world is fixated on that, and then being kind of in the situation where he's in NBA, Young Boy, and just other artists, like, what's made them who they are of notoriety and fame and made them their fortune is that trauma, is that lifestyle, that pain, and then having to relive that because fans love that shit and always want that. That's hard, bro. That's hard when you want to grow and you want to better yourself, but the very reason why you're in a position you're in is the pain, is the hurt, is the destruction that you're trying to escape.
Game, especially with you, you get on the internet and you get on blog sites and you see all these different things about you. Has there ever been a time where you was just like, fuck this rap shit, I'm done with it?
Yeah, man. I feel like it been plenty times I said fuck rap, but I ain't the first hip hop artist to wake up one day and say that. Man, I feel like that just be some spare of the moment, some 5-second feeling type shit, man. It don't be nothing a nigga really mean. So, have I ever felt like that? Yeah. But have I ever put that, but have I ever tried to let me see what I'm trying to say, I never been on nothing like, all right, you know what? Fuck the studio. Fuck the label, I ain't talking to him. I don't want to hear a beat. Fuck music. All that to the side. This what I'm focused on now. This my new plan. Whatever it is. I never been on that. This is my life. It's hard to get away from. Cause soon as I see a mic and I hear a beat, that's what I be on.
That's real. That tells you like that's really who he is too. I tell you that's who he is to his heart. And you know, he ain't changing. Maybe not cause, you know, we don't want to change, but just that it's just so difficult to change. Being through just surroundings and through just social situations that we come accustomed to being in. It's difficult, man. I can't lie, it's difficult.
I said this before, but the reason that you live life, in my
research group, highlights just how a stunning trope. But my biggest problem with
other people, I think life is pointless.
something we keep a close eye on here is the crisis of young men in the U.S. It's probably one of the most charged topics that we discuss, inevitably draws quite a bit of few toxic people in the discourse on all sides. But my biggest problem with the state of mainstream discourse is conflating toxicity with the idea that we don't have a serious problem. A stunning trove of new data from the Pew Research Group highlights just how big of a problem we have, one that soon could reach a total point of no return. The first is the rate of single young men versus single young women. 63% of young men today between the ages of 18.
Yo, nobody wants to be in a relationship these days. Everybody wants to be worried about their careers, worried about, you know, manifesting these auspicious dreams that we are fed, or they're just like, I don't need to be in a conventional relationship. I just have hookups, and they have tech now. Like, people are having relationships with AI, and people are utilizing, you know, social sites to connect, like OnlyFans, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, so it's like, how are you utilizing these things? I've always felt that, you know, the work life that we're socially fed through society is not conducive to you really having a relationship. Because how can you really make money, right? Support yourself and strive again still to do better when you also want to have, you know, love or affection or even just pleasure, because we're fed all these types of narratives too. You can't do that at the same time. But then for you to try to do those things, where do you find the time? You have to work 40, 60 hours a week to maintain a lifestyle. But then at the same time, you'll be out wanting to have a relationship with somebody. They're doing the same thing. So what y'all gonna have? 8 hours out the week where y'all can talk, and then that's even saying that your schedule as far as your work time are, you know, coinciding or paralleling each other, where you can kind of segue and go and see each other. So a lot of times that's not going to be the case. So my questioning would be just, you know, my questioning would be just like, what do we do with this now? In these relationships, nobody cares. They just want bread.
To 29 report being single. That is compared to 34% of young women.
Okay, I just want to stop it right there, because I remember when I first read this stat, I started laughing, and then I was talking with a homegirl, and she's like, how's that possible? And I was like, it's easy, because young women are dating older dudes. You know, despite all this talk about like, oh my God, it's so disgusting when older men go after young women. Did you not know that younger women actually like going after older men? And it's not even crazy. It's not even a weird thing. It makes perfect sense why. The reason why younger...
Yeah, if you ever grew up in the hood somewhere, you definitely seen when you, like, I remember being like in middle school, there were middle school girls getting picked up in cars by grown men. The men had to be like 20 something, bro. Because they had cars, like they wasn't like 18, 19. It's even still, we're in middle school. How old is you then? Like 14 at the oldest, maybe? 8th grade. Don't get started with high school. Like, those things are condoned depending on your racial, social, economic backgrounds and where you came from. So I always look at that stuff like, shit is crazy, bro. Like, who is into that? Wanting to pick up kids.
Younger women go after older men is for comfort, security. That's it. You know, we talk about how crazy everything is economically speaking. Rent's increasing, everything's more pricey, yet people still want to live a good quality of life. And guess what? Your average 22-year-old in college is not going to be able to give it to you. Yeah, he might have more in common with you to some degree, but the 32-year-old who got his own home, who's paying off his mortgage, got a full-time job, can take you on trips a couple times a year, and is much more comfortable in his being because he's had more experience, is going to be way more attractive than a 22-year-old who's just trying to figure it out. I can tell you this, dating at 32 is the easiest thing ever in my life now. Dating at 22 was a fucking struggle. Do you know how hard it is to try to invite a girl back to your mom's place or your rundown little apartment when I had one? Not the easiest. Not the easiest. I sure as hell wasn't confident. What did I have to be confident about? Got very little money, got only a half decent job, and I'm still figuring out who the fuck I am. So of course, these women are gonna go for older men. So that's why I always laugh and be like, ew, so disgusting. Why would these older guys ever want to be with these young?
Yeah, I be hearing that too. Like, now that's more to what people say. Why would these older men want that? It's really just boils down to they want the women wanting the advantages, both financial and possibly social, in the guys. And I've even seen it too, not even just guys, but older women too. They want younger guys too sometimes because it's less complications and they have more time. They have more free time. Like, because that older person might be busy, that younger person doesn't have as much going on, so they can dedicate their time to them. So when they do have a window of a day or a week or whatever, they can be like, "Oh, come with me here," or they can be like, "Well, drop everything what you're doing now and come see me." A person who's like busy like them too can't do that at the same time. They gotta schedule that stuff.
Younger women, because these younger women are aggressively going after these older guys. And as a man, when you're being desired by a woman, it's actually pretty appealing. It feels good. I personally have a hard time with it because culturally, sometimes I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect in terms of life goals. What do you think about this stat and this number?
I agree. It's like, ew. Have you been out? Do you get out of your house? Do you go online? Under what rock do you live? I don't see what you don't see. I don't get it. Like, do you even go out? Do you hear people talk? Do you see people at concerts? The people that buy concert tickets is women. The people that scream at concerts, women. People that try to go backstage for men performers or women performers, women.
Women are big time consumers. They like to live and experience things, and that shit costs money.
If you talk about your typical groupie, it's not a man, it's a woman. Talk about comedy. All my female comedian colleagues do not have the same relationship with women that we do, men comedians.
And bro, if you're trying to get this bread, if you're trying to have a relationship now, you have to change your ideals if they were molded on things that were previously obviously like social norms, because the social norms have been done a long time ago. They're not the same as what they used to be, and they're not gonna go back, at least not anytime soon. So you got to get in tune or get extinct. But it's hard out here to find your place, and I get it, myself included, for sure. See what else is on here, man. I'm just doing a little quick stream.
I ain't gonna say her name, but she took me in this lecture, and I'm asking him legitimate questions. He thought I was a troll or a heckler because he ain't expect me to be that smart. And he was like, man, I thought you was a heckler, man. You so smart. I'm like, no, I'm just asking you. Apparel, and he was like, he the dirtiest in the game, dirtiest young in the game. Now my thing is, I'm like,
why did he say that?
You asked him, why would you hate on the young?
Because he usually gives an explanation.
Why would you hate on the young? I don't know, hating on the young. I'm gonna just be honest with you, hating on the young, bro. Just do it all the time. Hating on the young niggas. Old football players hate on young football players. Old rappers hate on young. He hating on the young up and coming. But the thing is, he never made the distinction that you trying to diss me. You got everybody in your lecture laughing at me, but you don't even realize that I'm the same young man that just came and supported you when you came to Rochester, New York, 45 minutes from my city.
Right.
But you trying to play me though. But you don't even realize I just came and showed you some love. So I said to say this is the same reason I don't f with them is the same reason I don't f with Umar or none of them, because they all been trying to play me and disrespect me behind the scenes all of these years when I ain't one of them. I was gonna say, I never said nothing about you, but I legitimately never said nothing about none of them. They've been trying to dog me and rag me, and I'm up now. And I'm not with y'all. It just is what it is. I remember everything y'all all said about me all of these years. I would never with y'all ever. Never, never, never. And I want to say this about the NOI too. I was in LA with K-Cola before me and her fell out over the, and I ran into two from the NOI, and they didn't want to fight. And they said it was Gucci, and they shook my hand. So I said to say this, my beef with the NOI is squashed. Don't nobody try to resurrect it. You feel what I'm saying? But I said that to say this, I just want to let the world legitimately know why we got into it. Because we live in a world where people start, but everybody gets mad at the victim. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the f that happened, so I can go outside right now and just slap a random person, but when he hit me back, everybody get mad at him. I can start disrespecting people in here, but when they start disrespecting me back, y'all get mad at them. So it's like, I just want to let the world know I'm not a young firecrackery man who shouldn't have any power or responsibility. I'm not somebody that just be starting or abusing my power. I just want to let y'all know they started with me. The NOI started with me.
Well, I want to say, I think the comments from you about the NOI a little irresponsible, because when you tell Ben X to be more like Khalid Muhammad, who named his son after Farrakhan, brother Farrah it's like, you know, he was kicked out for his comment. So you basically tell him to get kicked out of an organization that he loves.
I hear that. And great point. I don't want what I said to be misconstrued, right? Great point. So let me be detailed. When I say that, right?
And I only bring that up because you brought up brother Khalid. You
are right. You the host, and you're doing a great job. Look, this is how you know this is a good host. He listening to what I'm saying. So with that being said, my comment there is just be your own man. Be your own man. And as far as Khalid Muhammad, I'm going to show you the lecture I did, because when Khalid Muhammad went to jail, Farrakhan wrote the judge on Khalid. Wrote the judge on him. And man, listen, I got so much on Farrakhan. He wrote the judge on Khalid. How you write the judge on your man? How you out here, and even if you didn't like Khalid, right? How you write the judge on him trying to get him extra time? How you do that? That was I got the actual news article that he wrote from back then. So I say that about Kyle. That's another thing they don't know about Kyle. You know what I'm saying? And they also say that NOI Biggie Smalls. That's in the documentary too. His bodyguard said that. The same bodyguard that was P. Diddy bodyguard that said he caught him and Ja Rule in the room with sex toys. So I got everything you need for Farrakhan. If Farrakhan could come sit right here, I'll show it to it. He wrote it. But with that being said, I just want to say that. That's why I don't with him. Other than that, I'm not getting up head hunting for Nation of Islam. They came over here and didn't realize I was the #1 researcher in the country, and I around and got all the skeletons out their closet. But it's squashed, according to them. And anybody watching this video, leave it squashed. Leave it squashed. But that's why I don't with them.
So there was another comment you made that I wanted to hint on.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, you don't consider yourself a part of the conscious community.
Yes, sir.
It's, young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh been moving and shaking for years. I did something with Young Pharaoh. It's on my channel. It's got a couple thousand views about 19 keys and Rizza Islam. I don't always agree with Pharaoh. I don't often agree with him, but I do agree with him on some things, and I agree with his at least with his with at least him being able to say things that go against the grain of what everybody else would say, whether you agree with them or not. I think he's definitely one of the few that does that. Whether it comes out of left field sometimes or not, I don't know, but that's up to everyone else's opinion. But he definitely stays coming with it. He definitely stays coming with it, and you can't knock or ever underestimate what Pharaoh might be into. We just look and see what's going on, man. It's like I said, this is like an impromptu stream. It wasn't nothing that I had. So let's see what's going on with it. Definitely gonna clip some of this up, into different pieces and whatever. You know how they do. 'Cause I know my lives haven't, I don't do enough lives for them to really bump like that. Whoever is in here, I just appreciate y'all. For surely appreciate y'all. Man, let me see. Just looking for some stuff right now. Cool stuff I'll be looking at.
Walk on. It's Black Man the Traveller here in fuck. I forgot where I am. Hawas? In Hawassa. So London. Right now we're on the hunt, searching for some Rastas in Ethiopia. So in Shashamani. So we're gonna search for the Rasta community. So back in the day, the Rasta communities they stayed here and they made themselves their own community within this city. So we're in a hunt to search for them. Fingers crossed, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna understand the Rasta community. Yeah.
So, there are skilled people amongst them, they're teachers, some of them are builders and so forth. So then that could teach, set up the school. And this was the first section of the school that happened. It was like a cow pen otherwise. And from there, the government started recognizing them and asked them to upgrade it to primary school. So,
how many years have you had this school?
Well, officially since 2000.
Okay, so it's almost like 22 years.
22 years.
Okay.
And the first and until the 8th grade is over here.
Okay.
We just managed to fundraise because, Rasta have connections all over the world. So,
yeah.
This was built just recently.
Okay.
Maintained the KG.
And the aim of the school was to empower the African community diaspora within this area to give them the education that they didn't have.
Yeah, but it's also integrating, it's 90% of the school are Ethiopians.
Yeah.
So the amount which are benefiting are beyond now just the repatriate members, But I'll tell you this, you can find a 5-year-old who speaks English, Oromifa, and Amharic in Shashamani, which is the ground for all sorts of communication and growth. So, imagine now when these kids grow up to take on, it will be easy to implement such things like tourism and so forth, and make an income or get out of poverty. So, it's a big thing, this.
The Rasta community, what year did they come in to this neighborhood and how was it for? I want to ask you, right? So who wants to speak on the camera? Do you want to hold the camera? And you can say whatever you want. You can speak.
So yeah, with the international connections of the board members here and even with Sydney, through music, we have people who, yes, they have exams, so they're doing revision now.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Nasaman, Simeon, from the 12th tribe of Israel, Rasta community in Shashamane. So just like to say to each and everyone, anyone who is watching this, that the African struggle continues. Africans around the world are doing great things. And if we could just put our resources together in trying to help the continent, to develop. Education is the key, and the key point. So we here in Shashamane, Ethiopia, we are focusing on education. Haile Selassie said it's the duty of the educated few to see to the legitimate aspirations of the unfortunate many. So we have a primary school, the Jamaica Rastafarian Development Community School, of which we educate over 500 students, approximately, with a kindergarten section as well. So my message to anyone who is Africa-minded and who has an interest to do something for the continent is what His Majesty said, it is the duty of the educated few to see to the legitimate aspirations of the unfortunate many. So brothers and sisters, give generously, help us here in Shashamane. You can check us out at the Shashamane Foundation, www.shashamane.org, and you will see more information on what.
Walk on. It's Black Man the Traveller here in I forgot where I am.
make sure y'all check him out.
The African struggle continues. You know, Africans around the world are doing great things. And if we could just put our resources together in trying to help the continent, you know, to develop. Education is the key, and the key point. So we here in Shashamane, Ethiopia, we are focusing on education. Haile Selassie said it's the duty of the educated few to see to the legitimate aspirations of the unfortunate many. So we have a primary school, the Jamaica Rastafarian Development Community School, of which we educate over 500 students, approximately, with a kindergarten section as well. So my message to anyone who is Africa-minded and who has an interest to do something for the continent is what His Majesty said, you know. It is the duty of the educated few to see to the legitimate aspirations of the unfortunate many. So brothers and sisters, give generously, help us here in Shashamane. You can check us out at the Shashamane Foundation, www.shashamane.org, and you will see more information on what is being done here in Ethiopia. Bless.
Thank you. Guys, I'm going to put the social media platforms in the description of the video so you guys can understand a full fundamental of where they're coming from. And
I'm gonna leave this up right here so y'all can see, you know, exactly what this is. For a few, this is what he was talking about. But this is a cool stream. Gonna be back in a little few.